Hello and welcome to the audio/visual rendition of Microsoft Teams Governance Best Practices, a practical guide for getting it right. Microsoft Teams makes collaboration easy, but without a plan, it can also create clutter, confusion, and security risks. The good news? You don't need an overly complex permissions setup to keep Microsoft Teams organized and secure. With the right prep work in place, you can give users flexibility while still maintaining safety and security for everyone. First off, you'll want to start by standardizing Microsoft Teams creation without slowing people down. Giving users the freedom to create Microsoft Teams encourages adoption and reduces that feeling that they're just using someone else's stuff. At the same time, unlimited creation often leads to duplicate teams, unclear ownership, and abandoned workspaces. A simple standard for Microsoft Teams creation helps strike the right balance. Some things to define early are: who can create Microsoft Teams? When should users create a new team versus reuse an existing one? How will naming conventions stay consistent? You're also going to want to plan guest access in Microsoft Teams from day one. External users like vendors, partners, or contractors are often essential to getting work done in Microsoft Teams. But managing guest access becomes much harder if it's treated as an afterthought. A clear guest access approach keeps collaboration moving while reducing risk. Questions to answer up front are things like: who can invite guests to Microsoft Teams? Is there an approval or review process for inviting a guest? What can guests access once they're invited? Always plan to set up a tagging system that actually scales, not just one that makes sense right now. Tags in Microsoft Teams make it easier to reach the right people, especially in larger teams. Without guidelines, though, tags can quickly become inconsistent or confusing. Decide upfront who can create and manage tags and how they should be used. Some common Microsoft Teams tag types are suggested or default tags, which are predefined by owners, like @everyone. Custom tags are created by users for flexible grouping, like @marketing, @sales, @project XYZ, or @customer123. Shift tags, however, are automatically assigned through the external Shifts app, such as @support. Also, you'll want to avoid ownerless Microsoft Teams. Ownerless Microsoft Teams are one of the most common governance issues, and one of the easiest to prevent. Every team should always have at least one active owner responsible for access, settings, organization, and membership. Best practices include making the team creator an owner by default, assigning owners based on role, and requiring a minimum of 2 owners per team. Always remember to manage the Microsoft Teams lifecycle. Not every Microsoft team needs to live forever. Once a project ends, its team should be archived or removed to reduce clutter and risk. Lifecycle management keeps Microsoft Teams searchable, relevant, and easier to govern. Your lifecycle plan should cover team expiration policies, how and when teams are archived, and how inactive teams are identified. Train your users on how to use Microsoft Teams the right way. Governance works best when users understand the why up front, not just the rules. Training and clear communication help users work confidently in Microsoft Teams without creating unnecessary risk. Effective approaches include training for new hires, short refreshers for existing users at set times, not just when things are going wrong, and clear documentation for common scenarios so that your users can help themselves on the smaller issues. Don't forget to audit and review Microsoft Teams regularly. Governance isn't a one-time setup. Regular audits help ensure Microsoft Teams policies are being followed and that risks are identified early. Monitoring options include Microsoft 365 audit logs, automated or scheduled reporting tools, and using role-based access control in Microsoft Teams. Role-based access control, RBAC, helps ensure users only have the permissions they need. This reduces risk while keeping collaboration efficient. Check out the link on screen for details of what your permissions and roles mean. Microsoft Teams governance should evolve with your organization. Regular reviews and adjustments help ensure your policies still support how people actually work. Ways to review governance health are things like user feedback and surveys, usage and adoption metrics, and policy reviews against best practices. And now, because we could go on forever about just one more thing, Here's a quick-fire list of additional things to consider. Define data retention rules for Microsoft Teams. Data retention is a core part of Microsoft Teams governance. Without clear rules, data might be deleted too soon or kept too long, increasing compliance risk. Retention policies help protect your organization while keeping information accessible when needed. Many industries have their own regulations for data, so make sure to check any regulations you need for their data retention requirements. Set expectations for chat and channel behavior. Microsoft Teams is a communication tool, but it still needs boundaries. Clear moderation and acceptable use guidelines that seem obvious at first help maintain a respectful professional environment in the long run. When expectations are clear, enforcement becomes easier and more consistent. Control apps and integrations in Microsoft Teams. Apps make Microsoft Teams more powerful, but unmanaged apps can introduce security and compliance risks. Governance should define which apps are approved and how new ones are reviewed. Use sensitivity labels to protect data in Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams often contains sensitive information, from customer data to internal financials. Sensitivity labels help control how that information is shared and accessed. They're especially important for organizations with compliance or regulatory requirements. Prepare for e-discovery and legal hold in Microsoft Teams before it's needed. If your organization is involved in a legal matter, Microsoft Teams data may need to be preserved. Having e-discovery and legal hold processes in place ahead of time reduces stress and risk later. Don't over-restrict Microsoft Teams users. Too many restrictions can slow users down and push them toward unsanctioned tools. The goal is to guide collaboration, not block it. Clear communication, smart defaults, and flexibility go a long way with most users. Encourage adoption with self-service, with some guardrails, of course. When users can confidently manage their own Microsoft Teams, adoption improves naturally. Templates, automation, and clear guidance allow self-service, while governance quietly works in the background to keep everyone safe, secure, and supported. Strong Microsoft Teams governance doesn't have to be heavy or complicated. Start with clear standards, build in flexibility, and then refine over time. When users understand the guardrails and feel supported, Microsoft Teams becomes easy to manage and even easier to adopt into your organization. Thank you for your time, and all resources for this video, including a transcript and slide deck of this video, are available at hbbtech.com/resources.